Welcome back to another episode of the Yami Shibai discussion. I'm your host, Ghosty, joined once again by the handsome, dashing, bearded Germ himself.
Bearded Germ here.
That's been a new development. Past few weeks, you've been growing the beard again.
More laziness than anything else.
You were off the beard train for a while, like I want to say 5, 6 years, maybe longer.
I I don't know. Lately, I just feel like letting it grow out a little bit and then shaving it.
Mm, it's a bit more comfortable.
Yeah,
I think it's coming in more than it used to as well. It didn't used to go as far up on your face, as far as I remember.
maybe I don't know. Might be the camera adding 5 pounds of hair or something. That's what the saying is, isn't
I'm not sure about that one.
it?
I could use some 5 pounds of hair on my hairline, so I'll take it.
Depends where it goes, right? What if it only
Yeah,
goes to
true.
your back?
No, not good. I feel like we can grow the goatee part, and then the rest of it never comes in as good as the goatee part.
I find the bottom for me does, not so much up there.
Maybe that's normal. I don't know.
It could be just family genes. Who knows?
Yeah, but yeah, if we ever want to be like bikers and get the handlebar mustache, like we're set.
Did you introduce yourself?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Wanted
Can
to
never
double
forget
check.
myself.
Wanted to double check.
Ah,
I've never heard of a hairy ghost though. So
true.
wait, yes I have.
No, I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
I think there's probably been episodes of this show with hairy
yeah.
ghosts.
Literally about hair ghosts. Yeah.
Have you learned nothing?
Apparently not. Would you like to get
Anyways,
started?
let's get into this. Yeah, see if there's any hairy ghosts in this week's episode. Step right up and have a look. It's time for Yami Shibai. Episode 12, The Last Bus. We join our main character, Bus Chan. Wait, no, it's a woman on the bus.
Darn it.
Look at the bus
Oh,
blushing. See?
it is blushing. Oh,
How cute.
you'll be the main character someday.
The woman on the bus is an office lady who caught the last bus because she worked overtime. It's not going well with her boyfriend. She's about to fall off or take the fall for her boss, even though it's a younger girl's fault, but she'll pretend she doesn't know that.
Put a pin in this. I want to come back to this comment.
She closes her eyes to get some rest, but hears a voice. There is an office lady who is fed up with her job. Our main character must have fallen asleep, so she opens her eyes. The bus is almost empty now, with only one girl left. She's talking to herself, so better just ignore her to be safe.
Before we continue, it looks like she's on the trend of shaving her eyelashes.
Most people can't see their eyelashes in their peripheral vision. Can you?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mostly ignore it though.
oh yeah, I think your brain takes it out automatically.
But
I was kind of worried
technically,
if you were seeing them all the time.
I feel like if you were looking through someone else's eyes, you'd see them.
I guess it's her perspective, or are we
I
seeing
guess,
like a camera inside of the
yeah,
eye? Is the
that's
question.
true. Anyway,
The lone girl on the bus continues her story. The main character tries to ignore her. Suddenly, we're shown the woman from the story, a woman from the story who looks very similar to the main character, except she's in a red world, which apparently has a bad feeling. She spots the teenage girl, who she recognizes. She was her best friend from high school, who was bullied, and at the time, the woman had ignored her so she could have an easier time. But ultimately, this led to the girl's death. The bus girl arrived from the story,
it's confusing.
so she goes. Yeah, this is hard to read. The bus arrived at the woman from the story stop, so she goes to leave.
I had to be very specific how to do that
Yeah, we're in
sentence.
a bus within a bus.
It's
It's
true.
confusing
It's
for
so
sure.
true.
But the high school girl floats behind her, saying, "Can you see me?" The woman turned around for being surprised, and the teenage girl says, "If you can see me, then help me." And the story's over. Thank goodness we learned an important message for sure.
Definitely very important message I'll take to my grave.
And that's it. The girl telling the story approaches the woman, asking, "What do you think happened to the woman?" Our main character shouts, "What do you want?" The girl responds, "You can see me, can't you?" The girl continues, "The things you do to people come back to you." Hey, wait till the themes and metaphors section. Anyway, she curses the woman with the same fate.
So casual.
Anyway, we get off the last bus, and the main character falls to the ground and looks up to see the girl from the bus looking down at her. She calls out to the many passers-by, but none of them react to her and just walk by at the woman yelling on the ground. Both the girl and the woman disappear from our view, leaving only an empty spot on a busy sidewalk. Hey, you didn't show me this.
No, I didn't. I've
Life
fallen
alert.
and I can't get up.
Wasn't there some number to call or something like that?
It was a
What was it?
lifeline. That's the button on the necklace.
A necklace. Yeah.
Do you remember this commercial from the 80s before our time?
I feel like I do remember it, but maybe
It,
we just saw like
it's
videos
famous.
of it or something.
It's famous for meme culture because the acting is so bad. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
I'm pretty sure there were still Life Alert ads when we were kids, but
I don't
not
think
as
we had
dramatic
this
as
one.
this, maybe.
Yeah. The end.
The
Yeah.
end.
If only that woman had life alert.
Oh, it's kind of similar, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty heavy one to me.
Yeah. I can see why you'd call it heavy. Yeah.
There's some parallels to real life there. Like, I've heard stories of people falling in the city and everybody just walks around them because they assume it's like a crazy
Oh,
person. And nobody helps.
interesting.
Bystander effect.
I didn't think about that aspect of this episode.
It's quite disturbing.
Yeah. Man,
It's
that makes
always
it.
weird. It's weird because you don't know if you how you would react in that situation. Everybody else is walking around them. Maybe there's something wrong.
That's so interesting. I never thought of that for this episode. Good thinking. Let's get back to that dialogue. Episode 5. You complimented the episode, but now I want to not compliment the episode. What the heck does any of this mean? I copied it word for word what they said.
Oh, I thought you were going to come back to it and explain how it tied into the story
No,
somehow. But yeah, it's totally irrelevant to the story. It's
I
just showing that she's
think
stressed, I guess.
she's still ignoring people.
Ah, I
But
guess so, yeah.
in this case, it's not for her benefit.
It's for her detriment, yeah.
So I don't understand the through line between this and the episode. And why is she taking the fall for her boss if it's a younger girl's fault?
Oh, it means like the wording is awkward, but you could interpret it to say like she's going to take the fall like to her boss.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, the wording is really awkward.
Yeah. That's the exact wording in the episode we got. That does
Maybe just a
make a
weird
lot more
translation.
sense. And the boyfriend stuff, irrelevant.
Yeah, completely irrelevant.
Yep.
I think you're right that it's supposed to be like she's ignoring other stuff, but yeah, it doesn't really fit that well.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up that because I really sat on that for a long time. I didn't come to any conclusions. This is your episode. You're figuring everything out. I'm just gonna sit aside, just like twiddle my thumbs.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't make the connection about it being forgetting related stuff, so or ignoring. So that's good at least. Oh, what do you think happened to her that she was hurt outside the bus? Like, there's kind of like a missing piece there.
When she's outside the bus, or the story when she turns around to the girl.
So she's on the bus,
Yeah.
and then the ghost is in front of her. And then the next scene, she's like hurt somehow, and she's on the ground outside the bus.
My headcanon is, who knows if it's right or not, that she freaked out, went to run away, tripped, and fell down the ground, and was cursed by the ghost. And
Makes more sense.
she was so asking other people for help, and they couldn't see or perceive her like they were ignoring her.
That makes sense.
And in the story, I think the ghost forgave her since they were old friends.
I don't think the ghost was her friend.
In the story it was in the episode in the story that the ghost tells.
Like so, it tells the story
Yeah,
uh, with her old friend,
yeah.
but then the person on the bus was always this like old timey looking ghost.
I'm not
So
saying.
like I don't know if
I'm
they're
asking what
necessarily
you think
connected.
happened to in the story the ghost is telling,
Oh yes, yes.
because we don't know. But I think the friend forgave her and they live a happy ever after.
That's I don't know about that one. Optimistic ending.
What do you think what do you think the ghost would have said if she said that to the ghost?
I mean, probably would have worked out no worse, so it's worth a shot.
It's kind of like the handshaking ghost, like the fourth one eats your
Oh
hand.
yeah,
Like, what are the rules
it
here?
kind of cheated. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
There was one cool scene in this episode. Did you notice when her friend
the,
like went up behind her?
oh, and she like slid up behind her.
Yeah, that's like more animation than you get in a typical episode of Yumi Shibai.
Oh yeah. I'll show the slide you're talking about, though we don't have the animation. No animation budget here. It's like this, and then she just slides up right behind.
Yeah, it's like they just took a transform tool and enlarged.
I
But
hope this doesn't end up in the video, but some USB thing it keeps unplugging and replugging back in.
it's part of the ambiance.
Oh,
Don't
don't
worry
worry, it
about it.
went off as you're speaking.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, like she slid right up there.
Yeah, it looked really cool. Creepier than most things on Yumi Shibai in my.
What about
Uh,
that kid who was like dancing?
which kid was that?
The end of season one, close to the end. There's like, remember they were like peeking to see what the adults were talking about, and they weren't supposed to look at it.
Oh yes, yes.
Yes, yeah. What about that dancing?
I feel like they had a bit more animation budget in the first season. I could be wrong.
Maybe they were more ambitious.
Yeah, I guess they had more time. Anything else stand out in this episode to you?
So I didn't notice this until I was making the slideshow for this.
Mhm.
In slide 21 and 22, uh, during this scene, they have the same people walk by like 3 times. You see the girl walking off the scene on the bottom.
Mhm.
Then in the next slide, she's come back from the top.
Oh yeah,
Everyone's making
they
circles.
drew the angle once, and they were like, "Oh well, you got to make the best of it."
Oh, I don't blame them at all. But I just thought it
Good
was funny.
observation. Yeah, it is pretty funny.
I forgot I had a theory on what happened to the woman in the ghost story.
Oh, what's that?
I think she successfully got her loan but was unable to pay it back in a timely
Hmm.
manner.
Maybe.
Yeah. Shall we continue?
Yeah.
If you do you have anything else to say about the episode?
No, that's about it for me. Let's see what some other people thought.
So the comments. I'll go first. This is from Stark 700. Well, this is why taking buses in the series is not a good idea.
Yeah, buses are pretty cursed. This is, I would say, a typical city bus experience, though. There's always one weird person on there you have to ignore.
I feel like she was in the right for ignoring that ghost before she knew it was a ghost.
No, it's the best move when you're stuck on a bus with a crazy person.
You never know what's going to set them off, so.
Yeah, exactly. Dancing Theba, or the Ba,
The bug.
said, "Shame. She tripped, and nobody is willing to help her up. Real shame."
I think they might have missed the point of this episode. So this does go along with your theory.
Yeah, this is like what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
Yeah.
Similar, just more short, I guess.
From Ichi number 1. Girl falls asleep and gets cursed for ignoring her friend when she was bullied. Very good summary of the episode. I should just went with this.
Why would you just comment that on the thread? I don't understand.
They just wanted to like bundle it all together. Like imagine if I just had like 2 slides that said that. Girl falls asleep, gets cursed for ignoring her friend when she was bullied. Done.
And video. Kajo Senpai 69. Nice. Said being indifferent to someone suffering when it's right in front of you is almost as bad as the ones inflicting the pain, I guess. Biting her back after so long is a dick move, though, XD.
Very true, eh?
Yeah, what's with the timing now? I guess maybe she was just unlucky to be on the cursed bus and her past guilt came back to haunt her or something.
Yeah, this person's interpretation is that story was about the character on the bus, like not the dream one.
Mm. Well, the dream was her in the past, wasn't it?
It's not confirmed. I'm gonna say a
Oh,
strong
that's
probably.
true. Yeah, I assumed it was her in the past. It was like a guilt thing. But yeah, I guess you're right. It's not confirmed.
It could also be like the ghost punishing people for ignoring others.
Mm, true.
From Crows Can Save You, I would have ignored her too. Ooh.
That's a real bus rider for sure.
Depends what point of the episode they're talking about. I assume it's the bus
Yeah.
ride.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It could be referring to the on the ground part. Well, it could be true for
It
both.
could be on the ground. It could also be in the school when she was being bullied.
Oh,
Unlike
true.
my
Yeah.
USB, who's speaking up right now. Oh, there it goes.
You got to get that fixed.
I was trying to figure out what it was before you got here, and I couldn't.
Oh, weird.
I'll
Maybe it's
figure
the
it out.
microphone.
Probably not. It
That would
looks
be,
like it's staying connected fine.
oh,
But I
that'd be
also have
ironic.
like 8 external drives connected to my
Data
computer.
hoarding gone wrong.
It's healthy as long as it doesn't interfere with my life, which I guess technically it is now. But let's move
Yeah,
on.
true.
Yeah. But we need a germ tangent to distract from that.
Cover up the insufficiencies.
So, what do we think the tangent might be about? Buses? People ignoring bullying? Well, it's about words, of course.
Ah,
Where
nice.
does the word bus come from? So, we think the word comes from
French.
Latin, meaning
Oh,
for all. And now it's stuck, and that is
ah.
the word for buses now.
Wow, that's actually kind of a cool name.
Right?
Transportation for all. That's nice. And
It's
French
really
makes it sound fancier now too.
that's true.
Omnibus.
We also have where sleep came from. And apparently in Middle English, slepen meant to lie or remain dormant or inactive.
Wow. Well, that's just pretty much what sleep means now. I think it means lie, like lie down.
Maybe. Oh no, that I did I sound like I meant lying as in truth or lie?
It could be
No
interpreted either
USB.
way.
I'm not lying. It's okay.
Yeah.
I hope it comes through the video because I'm gonna sound crazy if it doesn't. I think it is. The next one is revenge.
Wow, that was loud.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's from Latin again, which is not surprising. To lay claim, avenge, or punish.
Mm. Still the same meaning.
And the word revenge, the earliest known use in literature, is from the 1500s.
Oh, not that old.
Yeah, you think it would be from way older, right?
That's like one of the central themes of books.
But according to this little tidbit I have here, apparently it was recorded as a verb in the Middle Ages, the Middle English period from 1150 to 1500. So I guess
It's
it
still
had
kind of a verb, the act of taking revenge.
so I guess it had a transition to become its own word.
Verbs are words. It just means action word.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's interesting how loosey goosey language is. It feels so solid when we live in it.
Oh, no, it's even changed in the past like year, of course.
Like a Riz.
Wow, you're too hip for me.
Lit dog.
I think that one's like 10 years old. I hate to break it to you.
I'm not shocked in the least. I'm also like 2/3 sure that Riz is already out.
Oh, yes, I'm 100% sure that's got to be the
Yeah.
case if we know it.
I feel like yeah, if we know it, it's probably out by now. We are no longer the young. And of course, we have to look at the original where poo came from.
Of course.
Apparently, it's from referring to the rear of a ship.
Oh,
Right? It had nothing to do with feces originally.
no, it's surprising.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, history is so weird.
What word did they use then?
Good question.
Weird.
Themes and metaphors. I think the
So I
ghost
touched on
nailed it.
this a little bit,
Yeah.
but I kind of think the message was that society ignores people that are hurt and in need of help, and it's
Ooh.
fine when it's not you. But then the moment it is you, it's you kind of understand why it's a big issue.
I think that's much better than I have, which is it's unhealthy to ignore problems because they only come back to bite you.
Mm, that's kind of true too. Like you ignore the people that need help, and then that comes back to bite you because nobody will help you when you need help.
Or if a ghost curses you.
That's also an equally likely outcome.
So, Ghosty, what is your personal score?
Yeah, we got to see some cool ghosts too. Technically, I thought it was kind of disturbing, like the whole being ignored when you need help on the ground thing. And the concept, is kind of cool on the bus. So it's a 9 for me.
Hmm. I think after this, I probably would have given it a higher score. But when I reviewed this episode over and over and over again, I never really got the point that you had, which makes it much more interesting.
Mm.
But I'm gonna stick to what I was thinking originally and say 5. It's okay. Nothing
I
crazy.
think you didn't get that point because you don't live in a city,
That could easily be
so it's less common in your daily thoughts.
it. Out in the hills.
Yeah, you got to help each other to survive out there.
Otherwise, the goats will get
Yeah, exactly.
you. So that's a nice 14. I think that's gonna place it in the upper echelons of this season for us.
I've pushed it all the way up successfully.
So the next episode is called Seductress.
That's the final episode of the season.
It's the final episode of the season.
Um, so it's got to you have some fan service. I can't even hint a guess at this one. Then I'm just gonna have to leave it open.
For this show, it's a weird name, right?
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah.
Considering this is targeted at like kids.
I'm pretty sure it's targeted at kids. I'm not 100% like sure.
It doesn't feel that scary to me, so I'm gonna say it's not targeted at adults.
If anyone wants to send us questions for this season wrap up, darksidediscourse at gmail.com. You'll see it at the end of the episode as well.
If you made it this far, you're a true fan.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me as well, Ghosty. Another true fan of yourself.
That much is true. That's for sure.
And thank you all for being you. Bye.
Bye.